did I think about Rasheed Wallace saying that Michael Jordan was better on the Washington Wizards? What was my thoughts? I was watching him talk about it uh, in Bonzi Wells, and I was scratching my head because Bonzi said, well, I didn't see him in 87. Well, you got to play him in 87. You wouldn't have saw him because he was going by you. And Rasheed said, well, he could move lateral in his movements. He could shoot. He just didn't have that. Well, if he didn't have that, then he wasn't the same dude. He was good. And he had some nights where he was great. But then he had some other nights when he looked like he was pushing 40. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that fundamentally, he did not have the people and places to utilize what he knew. He could read the floor. His mind was telling him one thing, but his body was telling him another. I don't want to sound like R. Kelly's bumping ground, but you know, my mind's telling me, but my body. Yeah, this is where we're going with this. But how was he better on the Wizards than he was with the Bulls? Make it make sense, Sheed. His defense, he had moments. But moments don't translate. And I know before he got hurt, they were headed to the playoffs, but who were they going to beat? Let's look at the East, shall we? When he came back, they weren't going to beat the Sixers, who when Iverson was going towards to being MVP, Shaq should have probably gotten it, but another story. The Nets were better with Jason Kidd. That's just a fact. Jordan had moments, but he couldn't will that team to being better than what they were. But I will give him credit. He took a young, underachieving team, and they were playing like a team supposed to. He didn't go out and recruit a top-tier dude who was crying to hook up with him like Anthony Davis did to LeBron James. Jordan could have probably had it far easier. Nobody wanted to play with that Wizard team per se, even with him back, because they were getting, as Shaq said, we're getting Michael Jordan at 39, not at 29. Big difference. Even though he was still putting up some numbers. But let's not get it twisted. He could shoot and have moments, but he also had moments when it looked like it could go, it was highs and lows, in betweens, and then belows, because they didn't have enough depth to win. But he still put up respectable numbers, and he still was respectable. I'll say he could be really good and look dangerous on some nights, and then some other nights, time had taken its toll. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But to say he was better on the Wizards, no. He might have been more mentally sharper in certain decisions, but you got to remember the cast he had around him. He had a young Richard Hamilton, Tyronn Lue, different people. Him and Stackhouse did not coexist. Doug Collins was in over his head. Kwame Brown was still learning on the job and was still learning the intricacies. But it was asking too much with a young team, especially when you had better teams in the East, which you did. You had a better Milwaukee team, a better Toronto team, Philadelphia, the Nets. And the Wizards were going to be a team and the Pacers were better. A team that were going to be in the mix, but they weren't near the top or the mix of the mix, if you know what I mean. And when Michael Jordan has been and where he's at, you're not just playing just to be lucky to be a 6th seed or 8th seed. You have standards. So, but I didn't agree with Sheed on that one. I mean, yeah, but he needed that because that is what made him special. He had a sick fadeaway. Don't get it twisted. And he could pump fake. But it wasn't the same dude. It had definitely ordinary him. He was ordinary after that, and in that regard. Still had some moments. It was kind of like when I saw Jordan with the Wizards, it was like seeing Michael Jackson in You Rock My World video. He could still do a spin and a shake and a move, but you didn't see him in the peak, in the prime. And that's what it was like with this. And there's nothing wrong with that because guys can still go. And they still have moments where they can hit you. You would catch off guard, but they don't have that jolt. There was that jolt that it was like, and that was the thing while the Wizards, because they just were young and lacking and you needed that another gear. But he still showed you that, hey, I don't have to go and recruit 99 people to still make a statement either. So, but no, Wizard era was not that good. And what he had around him and what they put there, I still think Abe Polian set him up to take the ownership part too. That's my thoughts on that too in the bigger picture, which gets lost in all of this because he was a co-owner and they ran him out. And it was like some payback too. But it was not, it didn't end the way it's supposed to. I'm glad he did get ownership with Charlotte, but that Wizard tenure was a mixed bag. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another share if you like. Please hit that membership. When you do, I'll get your request videos to you. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay cool, stay calm. I'm back. Peace.